To my dear advisor and panelists, good afternoon. Today I'll be presenting to you the progress or the development of the study entitled Tagum College Pre-Employment and Alumni Tracer Information Management System. Unemployment happens when an individual wants to work yet cannot land a job, resulting in lower economic output. Investing in education, taking risk in business, and applying for jobs are ways to conquer the situation that stresses the country's financial status. People aim to uplift the quality of life they have and have productive employment in society, and job opportunities are considered an effective means of bringing out people from poverty. Nowadays, it is essential to create a system or implement programs, plans, and activities that substantially contribute to a low unemployment rate in a competitive world. With the proposed study, Tagum College Pre-Employment and Alumni Tracer Information Management System, the GPOs or the school administrator will facilitate the graduates' personal information and job applications. Higher educational institutions are the sectors that produce a future workforce. Alumni are vital in determining in the productivity and competitiveness of the curriculum offered by academic institutions. Also, alumni are considered as the best proof of a program's effectiveness in terms of employment. The purpose of the study is to contribute to the goal of the national government in providing a healthy and wealthy community through an increase in the employment rate. The study will assist the graduates or alumni to a more massive opportunity in choosing and landing a good career by building up their resumes. The main objective of the study is to develop a pre-employment and alumni tracer information management system for Tagum College that will facilitate the needs of the graduates or alumni, higher education institutions, and employers for employment. For the specific objective of the study, first, develop a system that will allow the graduates to record alumni information and qualifications used for recommendations to the interested employers. Second, develop a system that will provide a platform for the administrator to assist the applicants by confirming their intent of applications and providing the employers with qualified applicants. Third, develop a system that will provide platforms to the employers who are recognized by the academic institution through complying requirements in broadcasting their job vacancies and workforce needs. Fourth, develop a system that will enable the applicants to look for job vacancies and confirm their intent to apply in the vacant positions. Fifth, develop a system that will serve as a medium of communication between the employer and the applicants in setting up a schedule of interviews. Number 6, develop a system that can generate a result of the alumni tracer, such as employment percentage, degree of alignment, length of services, title or positions held, and the name of the employers. And lastly, develop a system that is mobile user friendly, such as accessing through mobile applications or browsers, and may send notifications either via text message or emails to the users. Specifically, the proposed study is beneficial to the three sectors of the community. We have the school administrator who uses the data gathered for the analysis on program enhancement and employment index of the graduates. We have also the employer who really needs the manpower to help them in the operation of their company or businesses. The applicant or alumni, the entity which hunts for employment and to use their acquired skills with compensation basis. For the scope and limitation of the study, the administrator will serve as a link between the applicants and the employer. Therefore, no direct communication upon application of the applicants and the employer. It will go under the assessment of the administrator of the application of the applicants. Verification and confirmation of information are also part of the administrator's job, especially on the registration process of the applicants and the employer to the system. The administrator will provide the list of qualified applicants to employers and also receives the selected qualified or hired applicants by the employer. Schedule of an interview is set by the employer, and the system will send immediately a message via text message and email to the applicants. The employer can only be allowed to post their job vacancies when requirements such as business permit and registration has been approved. Only the administrator can access the list of applicants registered in the system. Employers can only have the access to the applicant's information once the administrator sends them the list of qualified applicants. This is a conceptual framework of the study wherein applicant or alumni and the employer will go registration process to be member or to create an account in the system, and the alumni personal information and their employment information, if there is used in the system for referral, and for the employer's information including the business permit is essential in the system for them to do transactions such as job posting. And the expected output for the study is the interview schedule for the applicants, which was created by the employer, and also hard applicants is also one of the expected output. And job posting for the employer is expected output, and for the administrator, generating reports such as job matching and list of hard applicants, etc. So the system methodology used in the study is the iterative model of software development. So this cycle presented the progress model of the study. In this approach, the holistic process of software development was put into different phases. It focuses on an initial simplified implementation, which gains more complexity and a broader feature set until the final system is complete. So it composes initialization, planning, system requirements, design, implementation, verification, evaluation, and deployment. So the first phase of the development focuses on understanding the need and rationale in creating the study, evaluating the issues, and assessing the possible information. On the system requirements, it focuses on the needed essence of its existence or creation, determining who will be the possible clients or users, and how will they use the system, what data are needed as input, and expected output or result. For the system design is next when the completion of the system requirements has been appropriately conducted. This phase helps in selecting and specifying software and hardware to be used. Also defining the system's architecture, which describes the structure and the behavior. For the implementation, the structure developed during the system design is used. Implementation through creating a process in every unit of the system is realized with the consideration of the desired software and hardware. Giving functionalities for the end user is being served. The integration of all the programs in every unit of the system is also focused. Still, this phase must retain the requirements needed in the system that has been undergone system design. The system is tested in this stage to ensure that it performs well. When bugs occur, the researcher will establish a support plan for the system. For the evaluation, reviewing the software by the client and the developer is required. It needs to evaluate to determine if the user requirements are successfully met and provide the purpose. Clients and developers must review the system through its functionality, reliability, portability, and usability. Testing is required to ensure that it will become error-free when used by the clients and meet the specified requirements. This is done to categorize a study as passed or failed, and accepted or unaccepted. The evaluation may conduct through the use of the survey. The survey will be answered by the employer, applicants, and administrator. This measurement is based on the test case, questionnaire, and acceptance survey. For the deployment, when thorough testing, evaluation, and categorized as acceptable, the system is now ready to deploy at the end user's environment. It is a phase of preparing the programs to be executed. It will undergo configurations of the software and the hardware to be successfully operated. When doing installations, one must ensure that the requirements are met and the system is installed to be accessible. The deployment in this type of model may happen after the implementation stage to gradually check its requirements and undergo verification and planning. These are the things to consider during the deployment. The researcher will provide orientation to the selected staff of the industry partner who will manage a system in the company. Provide orientation to the graduating students or alumni on the new system. Installation process and the availability of the computer units, and it is applicable only to the users who have internet connection. For the requirement analysis and specifications, these are the things to be considered. We have the system requirement specification, the software requirement, hardware requirement, testing procedures, and the schedule of testing. So this is a system case design wherein the employer and applicant make requests such as registration. Then for employer, for job posting, for hiring, and for the applicants, for applying the job. And for the administrator, its job is to verify, approve the request, and of course generate results. So this is a data flow process of the existing system for job posting in Tagum College. So first, the employer must have to submit a letter of request for job posting and their business permit. Okay. Optional, if they could bring layout for the advertisement such as poster, so they may bring that one. And after the submission of the requirements, the head of office will verify the requirement, and if it is passed, it will proceed by job posting for the alumni staff, and if it is not, return the request for proposal or appropriate action. So the office will immediately call the attention of the employer who sent the letter of request and business permit to inform what are the requirements lacking. And for job posting, job vacancy must be posted in the bulletins and in the social media of the office of the External Relations and Alumni Affairs Office of Tagum College. And for the alumni tracing, the office assistant will facilitate in requiring or encouraging the visiting alumni to fill up the alumni information sheet, and this is done with evaluating the filled up forms of the alumni, and if it is completely filled up or those required data is already filled up by the alumni, then it will it will be kept by the office assistant. And if it is not, request the alumna to fill up the necessary areas if applicable. And Office assistant also do the summary of the data by just encoding all the information filled up from the form, and the head of office will make analysis on the summary created by the office assistant, and also the head of office will have to make a report about the data gathered. So this is a data flow diagram of the proposed system, wherein the alumni and employer must have to undergo registration process, and all of their information is being stored in the database, and their transaction is after verification and approval of their registration. They may now log in their credentials to fully enjoy the benefit of the system. So they will be logged in, and the services that the employer may acquire from this system is by creating a job, which will become job vacancies are open for application for the applicants. So in order to create a job, it must have the job description, the number of including the number of slots or number of personnel they needed, what is a position, and what are the expected work and qualifications, and then the created job is also stored in the database. And for the alumni or applicant, he will enjoy the benefit of applying on the job posted by the employer. So it will undergo process if the applicants qualifies on the intent of the application. And when the application is qualified, therefore the admin will send the employer a list of qualified applicants, and then the employer will create an interview schedule wherein administrator and applicants is also aware, and when they are after conducting the interview, the employer will immediately change the status of the applicant as hired, or any status that the applicant is getting from the application, and also the administrator will also be notified with the status of the application. Then the admin will also responsible for generating reports. So this is the login form of the system. So there's the title of the system, Tagum College Pre-Employment and Alumni Tracer Information Management System. And we have the register button and the login button. So this is the default login form. This is the environment for the administrator. So you will have the list of the employers, the job vacancies, list of applicants, and the reports. For the employer, he can see here with job posted, and we have also here tab for applicants, so that the employer may know who are the qualified applicants referred by the administrator. And this is for the applicant or alumni's environment. So you will be seeing all those jobs posted by respective companies, and you have here the positions available. For the red color, that means it is already full, and for the green, that is still open, and for the yellow one, that is closed. So this is the environment when an applicant is trying to apply for a job. So first, it will ask for a confirmation if the certain alumni or applicant is really want to apply for the job. And when the applicant press the button, yes, I am interested, it will go with applied application that's successfully done. And this is the details of the applicant or the resume, and this is accessible only to the administrator, but the employer may have access to this when the certain applicant is being referred by the administrator. That means that the applicant is qualified to apply on a certain job. So this is also the environment for creating interview schedule. So this is for the employer. So we'll just create here the date and the so this is a notification in interview schedule for the applicants. So he will be receiving notifications of interview schedule via messenger, via text message and an email. And when an applicant is being hired, he will also be notified through text message and an email. Of course, on the system itself, he will be notified. For the reports, we have here job match and the mismatch. So every companies and every job posted will be given rates, either the applicant match or mismatch on the job applied or hired. And for the alumni tracer, so you will just type on the certain family name or first name of the alumni, then it will present the previous and the present employment status of the alumni, including the company and the position. And reports for the hired here, this is in a quarterly report. So you have here from June to September and October to December for the testing process they were being hired. For for reports length of time, by the way, reports earlier, it is also included with annually and tabular form. For the reports on length of time in finding the first job, so this is you have here less than a month, 1 to 6 months, 7 to 11 months, and among applicants or alumni registered in the system, 1 to 6 months are the performance of the alumni who easily landed a job after the graduation. And this is by program. Also presented to you the test case questionnaire for the administrator. Actually, this is have lots of pages, so I just get a sample one on the first page. So this is for the administrator, this is for the employers, and we have also for the applicant or alumni. For the evaluation, testing was participated by 4 employers, 10 applicants or alumni, and 1 administrator. Also, users rated the system using the test case survey as passed and garnered a mean of 4.96 acceptance rate. It is categorized as highly accepted. All the type of users are more inclined to use the system. So this is a tabular form or presentation for the acceptance survey, which composes the functionality, reliability, usability, and portability. Conclusion: the system allows the applicant and employer to create registration and verified by the administrator. The registration must be completely filled out and will be subject to the approval of the administrator. Also, the system is accessible by using mobile devices as long as it is connected to the internet. The users can manage the system through the constructed web-based application. You have the http://pitmism.gov. The system allows the employer to create, update, and delete jobs. These include selecting a drop-down menu or create job name, identify the number of slots, scope, and qualifications of the job. The system allows the employer to view referred applicants and create schedule of interviews. The system notified the applicants of their interview schedule on their accounts via text message and emails. Also, Users will be advised of the status of their application such as job match or mismatch and hired. The system allows the applicants or alumni to seek job vacancies and apply for the jobs. The said intent of applications will undergo screening of the administrator before being identified as qualified and be referred to a particular employer. The system allows the administrator to generate reports and do alumni tracing. These include the data on previous employment of an alumna, match and mismatching of jobs, graphical and tabular presentation of the employment performance of the alumni. For the recommendations, Chesser suggested adding some areas on the system to allow the administrator to announce alumni activities or make any announcement. This way, the alumni may also be aware of the whereabouts of the Alumni Association of Tagum College. Chesser suggested adding a feedback form or sending message capabilities to the administrator, wherein applicants and employers may be able to raise some concerns or queries. Chesser suggested adding of edit button to the registration forms, especially when the users already saved certain information such as educational information. Users edit certain information instead of rewriting the data. Chesser suggested allowing the employers to view the job posting of other employers. The purpose is to tighten the competition between the similar jobs posted. Also, add subject areas on employment creation and the benefits the applicants may get when becoming a part of the company. Chesser as the applicant suggested separating those jobs which are close or full in the job posting. This way, available job vacancies will be prioritized in viewing. So this is a photo documentation of some of the alumni and employer in engaging the system. So I already did with orientation, and one by one I assisting them on how to use the system, how to create system, how to register. So that's it for the presentation on the progress and development of the study. So thank you and God bless.